Okay, hello everybody. This is week 13 tutorial 12 recordings. We have 3 tutorial questions and we will go through them one by one. First one, Phillips curve and the short run and the long run. So imagine that in the year 2020, the inflation rate in the fictional country of Denmark is 2%, and the government is considering whether or not to pursue an expansionary monetary policy. The following graph shows the possible impact of that policy in 2021. So let's show on. If the government does not pursue the policy, aggregate demand will be given by 81. Resulting in the outcome illustrated by point A. If the government does pursue the policy, aggregate demand will be given by 82. In the short run, this policy will result in the outcome illustrated by point B. Imagine the natural rate of output in this economy is $8 trillion. On the following graph, use the green line to plot the long-run aggregate supply curve for the economy. So we are told that the natural rate of output is $8 trillion. So long-run aggregate supply curve is vertical line at the natural rate of output, so which is 8. So this is long-run aggregate supply curve. Imagine that the economy is operating at point A. The unemployment rate is 5%, so this is the natural rate of unemployment as well. If the economy is operating at point B, the unemployment rate is 2%. Given this information, the natural rate of unemployment in the economy is 5%. It is the natural rate of unemployment is the unemployment rate when the economy is at its natural level of output. So it's 5%. So it's 5%. Based on your answers to the previous questions, use the orange point on the following graph to plot the unemployment rate and inflation rate if the economy is at point A. So if economy is at point A, inflation rate is 2%, unemployment rate is 5%, so it's 2, 5. Next, use the blue point to plot the unemployment rate and inflation rate if the economy is at B. So at B, inflation rate is 3%, unemployment rate is 2%. So 3, 2. Finally, use the red line to draw the short-run Phillips curve for this economy. So just link them together. Link these 2 points. So this line is a downward sloping line, so representing a trade-off between unemployment and inflation. So the higher unemployment, the higher unemployment rate, the lower the inflation rate. Now consider the long-run effect of this policy. Imagine, in particular, that following the policy, the aggregate demand curve shifts remains at 82. Designate as outcome C in the long-run equilibrium that would follow such a policy. On the previous graph, place the purple point. Okay, so now we want to draw. So in the long run, the economy will move from B to C such that the output go back to its natural level. So it's 8 trillion, and inflation rate increased to 4%. Because output at point C is equal to the natural rate of output, the unemployment rate associated with outcome C is equal to the natural rate of unemployment. Finally, use the green line to draw a long Phillips curve on the second graph. So, long Phillips curve is vertical. It does not depend on inflation rate at its natural rate of unemployment. So it's a vertical line as natural rate of unemployment. Alright, so that's question 1. Question 2. The long run effects of monetary policy. The following graph shows an economy that's currently in the long run equilibrium. The first graph shows the aggregate demand and long run aggregate supply curve. The second is long run and short run Phillips curves. Okay, according to the graph, the natural rate of output in this economy, so we can read it from the graph. So it's 9 natural rate, $9 trillion. Unemployment rate is associated unemployment rate is 3%. Imagine the central bank of the economy decreases the money supply. So decreases money supply, increase the interest rate, that increase investment, that shift the aggregate demand to the left. So show the long run effect of this policy on both the graph by shifting the appropriate curves. So aggregate demand curve shift to the left, and inflation rate drops. So in the long run, people observe that inflation rate dropped. They will decrease their expectation. That shift the short run Phillips curve to the left. The long run effect of the central bank's policy is a decrease in the inflation and no change in the unemployment rate and no change in real GDP. Okay, so that's question 2. Question 3. Monetary policy and the Phillips curve. The following graph shows the current short-run Phillips curve for hypothetical economy. The point on the graph shows the initial unemployment rate and the inflation rate. Assume that the economy is currently in the long-run macroeconomic equilibrium. So now the economy is in the long-run equilibrium. So we can read from the graph that natural rate of unemployment is 9%. Imagine the central bank of the hypothetical economy decides to decrease money supply, so interest rate goes up. On the following graph, shift the curve, drag the dot along the curve, or do both to show the short-run effect of the policy. Okay, we know that the central bank decreased money supply, which increased interest rate. Let's shift the aggregate demand curve to the left, resulting in lower inflation and high unemployment. So in the short run, this shift downward. The economy shift along the Phillips curve downward. Decrease in inflation rate and an increase in the unemployment rate. On the following graph, shift the curve, drag the dot to show first the short-run effect and then the long-run effect of the decrease in the money supply. So first, shift this downward this way. Second, that's in the short run. In the long run, people observe that inflation rate is keep being low, so they will adjust their expectation, revise downward the expected inflation. Let's shift this short run Phillips curve to the left, such that the unemployment rate go back to its natural rate of unemployment. So in the long run, the decrease in the money supply results in a decrease in the inflation rate and no change in the unemployment rate. Okay, that's all about the tutorial 12.